The way that I found that works for a majority of people, being able to overcome that fear, that inner dialogue, is to break it down into something that's very digestible. So that's one thing I always love to be able to do with people. A lot of people, they have, let's just say, if it's a goal, right, and they're maybe really embarrassed that, or they have a fear that they don't want to get embarrassed of accomplishing that large goal or failing at it, I should say. If you break down everything that you're overthinking about, no matter what it is, into small, digestible steps, you'll figure out how much more possible it is to accomplish. And when you do that, you are really setting yourself up for success to not fail no matter what. Like, let's even just say if your goal is to be able to save $100,000, right? I'm just throwing out a figure. If your goal is to save $100,000, the first thing you have to do is save $1. So I'm like, okay, don't worry about the $100,000. That's going to come over time. Let's focus on saving at least $1 a week. Then you go to $2, $3, whatever it is, right? Let's just say if your goal is to lose 100 pounds. I'm just going to stick with the rule of 100 right now, or just different hundreds. If your goal is to lose 100 pounds, let's not focus on losing 10 pounds or 15 pounds this month. Let's just focus on losing 1 pound. Then after we lose that 1 pound, how did you do it? What went well? What went wrong? And from there, just continue to lose pound after pound after pound. And when you break things down like that and something that's so easy to accomplish, one, you realize that, you know what, this isn't as bad as I thought it was. But two, you give yourself confidence to be able to accomplish the large goal at hand, because that's what a lot of people don't realize. It's like you have to figure out how are you going to build this confidence up within yourself in order to accomplish whatever goal it is that you aspire to have.
Yeah, no, I get it, and and speaking from experience, right? Uh,
Hmm.
this is what you mentioned. There are two things that spoke to me and that I've struggled with in the past, right? One, yeah, having those small goals every now and then, they're so embarrassingly small. It's imagine that you go to the gym, right, and then you weigh 400 pounds, 500 pounds, and then you just want to lose weight because you just want to have like a better lifestyle, but then you cannot even walk more than 10 minutes on the treadmill, and it feels embarrassing. It's like, but you kind of have to have those tiny goals that are and after, I mean, and you have to become good over time. And I struggle with that in the past with things I've done, and I'm sure that many people have done it as well, where it's like you see people at your surroundings, whether it's at the gym, whether it's at work, and they're further ahead in life or in the goal that you're trying to accomplish, that you feel like, man, how are people looking at me when I can barely do this, or just I don't get my finance together. I'm in deep debt, and yet just saving, as you said, $1 a week is so ridiculous. But again, you're trying to build the habit per se.
Yeah, exactly. Building that habit is something that a lot of people don't really realize that they also need to build as well. So I'm really glad that you brought that up. Because once you start building the habit of accomplishing those small steps, over time you'll get accustomed to that and it'll become your lifestyle of figuring out what are those small steps that you have to be able to accomplish for whatever that large goal is. But if you're the type of person that, let's just go with continuous like overthinking, right? If you're always overthinking every single situation that you find yourself in, you just find yourself in that revolving door, in that cycle of overthinking, of the fear of not taking action. And then you realize it's been 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, a decade that you're still not getting things accomplished, and you're not reaching the goals that you have in the back of your mind. On the flip side, if you start building that habit of figuring out how to break everything down on a smaller scale, now it's just like, oh, it's compound interest, right? The first year, things went a little bit better. Second year, a lot better. It seems like it just happened overnight. By the time you reach year five, it's going to seem like an overnight type of thing, like overnight, let's just say, quote unquote, success, right? And at that moment, you definitely have built that and incorporated that into your lifestyle. So yeah, it really is like you said, Daniel. It's like figuring out how to build that habit into your life.
Yeah. And I think another thing that people should be aware of, and I'm glad you brought it up, is that compound interest. It could also work the opposite way. If you let that fear be in your head, and every single day
Hmm.
if you had the fear of being embarrassed for just because you couldn't run a mile, and then eventually that fear is going to affect other areas of your life where you're just going to feel completely lack of confidence, and it's not that you did something wrong, but you let those
Hmm.
emotions and those fear control you, and compound over time, that now you're free. I mean, you're frozen every time that you're trying to move forward and trying to work on your goals, whether it's social, professional, or personal. What's up, everyone? If you enjoyed that, then press here to watch the full unedited episode. And don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you next time.